Okay, this is a brood frame. I'm doing grafting. Let's see what we can see down. There's a larva in there. There's a larva in there. There's a larva in there. Okay. So what I do is I take this special tool. It used to be called the Chinese grafting tool. Now I see people call it the standard. I think the only difference is people didn't want to use the word Chinese anymore. But anyway, they didn't. They're all made in China, so it actually probably doesn't matter what freaking type of grafting tool you use. They're all probably made in China. Anyway, where's my camera here? There is the size of the larvae that I graft. Anyway, that's the size. Somebody's giving me a call, but I'm just going to ignore it for now. I'll call them back. That's the size of the larvae. You put it in the bottom of the cup and you push the plunger down like that, and it empties it into the cup. So you just run around and do that. I don't know how many, probably about 50 of these cells here. Oh, of course, trying to video and do this at the same time takes enough concentration, eh? You just knock 2 cups off over here with larvae in them. So they just shove in there like that. These cups are sort of on a cam, so in this bar they just push in, but to put them in the wood like this, you have to put them in and turn them, because like I say, they're on a cam, so the base of it is sort of oblong. They also usually use a flashlight to look in the frame, and of course I turned on my camera, so now I don't have a flashlight, so it just makes it that much more challenging, but that's okay. I have to take my glasses off to do this just because of my there's a larvae again. I'll show you against this bee so you can get an idea of how big it is. Little bee, little larvae. And sometimes the best thing to do with these damn bars is just to push them right into the wax. That'll hold them there. And I lost my larvae on the side of the cup, and try that again. There, I'm just about done this graft. Just have to find enough larvae to fill the last few. And then I can put it back into the hive. And one more. One more. Last one. There we go. Now, I have these. Let's see. I have this so that it's got a slot in it, and these just go like this. Now this frame is upside down at the moment. Put it in there and in there. Now, put my hat on so nobody can see what my hairdo looks like, because you know that's very important when you're in the bee yard. Now these, since I've been sitting here, these little bees that are on this frame. I actually swept them off with a little broom I have. But these ones have hatched out, as you can see. There's one hatching out. These three here have hatched out. That one's hatching out. That one's hatching out. That one's hatching out. That one's hatching out. They're all hatching out of my lap. But when they're that young, nobody stings you. Not that you get stung often anyway. But off we go. And back into the bee yard, into this hive that I was shaking everything into. And I left that one open because that's the one I grafted from. And this one. So there's the odd bee, right? So I take this frame, I turn it, and then I just insert it into the hive like this, and I bring these frames against it. So this frame here and this frame here have open nectar and pollen in them. All these ones are honey. That one's honey, but I think it has a little bit left to be pulled. Yes, on this second side here. So that might keep them from building webbing on the grafted frame. Okay, I still have to put my feeder in there. It's in the truck. I just gotta walk over and get it. But that's how full the hive is. It's full. There's lots on the bottom still because I shook them onto the bottom. So there'll be like quite a bit of bees on the bottom. Put this baby back in here. And put the frame. Put this frame back in here. Whoop. Not much of a video recorder guy. And I center that, like that. Put my queen excluder back on. The queen will come back along and put new larvae in those cells that I took the larvae out of. Then we have the honey super on here. They're all still spaced well. See, with the honey super you only put 9 in. Frame, small space. Frame, small space. You can do that just by using your fingers as the spacers, right? But the reason for the space in between is so that they'll pull the wax out far enough that you'll be able to cut it off with your knife, your uncapping knife. And just makes it easier. If they're a little bit wider than the frame, when you're in the brood chamber, you don't want them wider than they are in the frame. When you're in the honey super, you want them thick. Thicker's better. Anyway, gonna put the feeder in that, put some pollen patty on it, and go back to the house because I think they just brought home a bunch of chickens. That's exciting. Anyways, talk to you.